Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 1, Episode 1, Part 1. There's a lot of ones in that. So I thought this was a pretty good, pretty okay episode. It's not nowhere near as amazing as the first two seasons of The Mandalorian or even its pilot episode, but you gotta admit, it's a whole lot better than that Book of Boba Fett. Because when it comes to that show, I only watched the first episode and I quit. That show was just too boring, man. I was just like, what is this about? And so I'm just like, I'm bored to tears. And stuff. I'm like, that series was so boring. And so when the Obi-Wan Kenobi one series came out, I waited until last night to watch it because of the Boba Fett show just put a bad taste in my mouth. And so I watched it. I'm like, it's not that bad. It is very slowly paced and everything, but it's not as bad as like Boba Fett. And so before I even watched it, I saw like some people complaining online, talking about this show is so boring, it's terrible, everything new Star Wars is like terrible and blah, 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 blah. And so normally when I hear stuff like that, I don't pay attention to like what those people say. Those normally like the toxic people normally. And so I waited, and so I'm like, this first episode wasn't that bad and everything. I don't know why some people are complaining. And so in this episode, it takes place 10 years after the what was it, like original, well, no, the second trilogy, third movie and stuff. I forget what that name is called. Is it called Revenge of the Sith? It's been a long time since I remember that movie. That's the one I used to have on DVD because I really used to like that movie. But then, like I said, I gave it away to my friend, and for some reason I never bought it again. I need to rewatch it to see if I still love it as much as I did back in like when I was in college. And so like after Order 66, where like the Sith and the Stormtrooper clones were like, killing all the Jedi and stuff, the remaining ones went into hiding, and Obi-Wan Kenobi was one of them. And so he's on, it's hard for me to say the word, Tatatuchi? Yes, that planet's name. Oh god. So he's on that planet stuff. And looking over young Luke and everything. And so I kind of always wonder, what would this show be about? Because we don't know much of what happened in between those two movies and stuff. And we just know that he went into hiding. He stayed on that planet whose name I shall not say again. And so he just looked after Luke, and then as he got older, he gave him his dad lightsaber, and of course we all know what happens after that. So I always wonder, well, it can't be much of a story you're gonna tell. So then, of course, with all this new Disney Star Wars stuff, they're like reinventing it and bringing in new stuff. So of course, it's like a rescue series and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm down with that. And so like something that causes him to come out of hiding. And so it begins, with the whole Order 66. We see some, I'm still unfamiliar. Is it Padawans? That we see some of them, getting attacked by some Sith, and then so stormtroopers and stuff. And so we see this one Jedi trying her best to survive, but eventually she ends up dying, and the kids end up running away. And the thing about Order 66 that always weirded me out is, how did all those Jedi fall? I mean, they're supposed to be some of the best fighters in like the galaxy and everything. So I know that someone got a sneak attack, but the ones that saw everything coming, like, how come they wasn't able to defend themselves and everything? Like, they got taken down too soon. Of course, that's because they had to set up because of what happened in the original movies and stuff. And so, yeah. And so, like, we see now a bunch of, like, Inquisitors and everything. They are now looking for the remaining Jedi. And the Grand Inquisitor, which should have been played by Jason Isaacs. I mean, he voiced the dude, let him play the dude, But anyway, they're looking for the remaining Jedi, and so they're in like a village, and they're like very intimidating to people. There's only three of them: the Grand Inquisitor, the what is it, third sister, and the fifth brother. And so the people are terrified, and some people are mouthing off and everything. Like this one lady who got her hand chopped off, and so they said like, the Jedi are some noble people, and of course, what's going to make them come out of hiding is they can't help but to defend people. So they place people in danger, hoping that, one will reveal themselves and one do. I think his name is Kari, I think. And so he's trying to escape them, and then the third sister, she is about to like kill him and everything, but then the Grand Inquisitor makes her stop. He's very pissed at her because she's so reckless and everything. For some reason, she has a vendetta against Obi-Wan. I'm not sure why, but she does. This series really should just be called Obi-Wan. Like, I think that would be like a nice short, like, name for it instead of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So we actually do get to see Obi-Wan and everything, now going by the name of Ben, of course. And he's working in a meat factory. And so as the people are clocking out, he has like a scumbag for like a boss. But every time like he clocks out, he always manages to take a little sliver of meat home for his animal and stuff. That's Obi-Wan for you. And so like, of course, he keeps an eye on like, Owen's place, Lars, and so he has to protect little like Luke and everything. And while all this is happening, we see the way he looks. He no longer looks the same way he did in those early movies. He looks like a shell of his former self. He is a broken man. He feels like all of this is his fault because he could not foresee Anakin's like turn to the dark side. All these people are now dead because of that. Anakin is a disfigured soul. There are no Jedi barely left in the galaxy, and the ones that are left have to go into hiding, and they're being hunted down like animals and stuff. And it's like all that weight and all that guilt is on him. But it's not his fault that Anakin turned to the dark side. But Obi-Wan blames himself because he could not foresee it, He could not stop it like before it happened and stuff. Everything he knew and loved is like gone now, And so he's just a slump of a man. And so like then we get to my favorite character in the show, little Princess Leia. Boy, this little girl is a trip. She stole the entire show and everything. She's sassy, she's adventurous, she's like intuitive, she's like headstrong, just like, the older Leia is. But it's just in a more adorable kind of way and no space buns. And so her mother, which I'm so happy to see this actress in something, like the actress named Simone, what is it? Kessel. She's a New Zealand actress, and I remember her from the Hercules and Xena show back in the day, man. She used to play at Amazon in the last season of Hercules. And so, like, what's her name? Like, Brenda, I think her name is. Belle. So she's like, she realized that her daughter played a trick on her and has dressed one of her servants up as her. So of course they go looking for her. They're always going looking for her. So they have to go to this special like banquet type thing, and her cousins are there and they're being rude to her and everything because, well, he's being rude to her because he's all like, you're not even really one of us. You're just like adopted and blah, blah, and stuff like that. Boy, she sasses the mess out of him. She tells him how it is. And basically how he's afraid of his father, and that's the way he acts and all kind of stuff. And I love the way how she read him, you know what I'm saying? Because even though I still haven't seen the newer trilogies yet, some people have speculated that she has the ability of the Force. I think there was that one scene I saw her frozen in space, which they didn't really want to elaborate too much of that. And that's like really cool. But they can't overdo it, of course, because we didn't see none of that in the original trilogy and stuff. But she is one of my favorite characters. But sadly, she gets kidnapped by a group of bounty hunters and stuff. And it was really terrifying. Like, oh no, they're gonna catch her, and of course they do. And so, um, Vak Norak or something like that. He's like the head bounty hunter dude, and she's just being rude and like sassy to them and everything. She has no fear. That's why she's my favorite character of this show, and I hope they show more of her. She's like the baby Yoda of like this show. So Nari, he finds that of like Obi-Wan, and he shows him a lightsaber talking about, like, I know who you are and blah 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 and stuff like this. And Obi-Wan's just like, look man, I don't know you, I don't know what you're talking about, and if you got that weapon, it's best that you just go far into the desert and just bury it and everything. And so again, this dude is being hunted and stuff. So at some point, Obi-Wan, he gives Luke a gift and everything, a very important gift. Owen does not like this, and Owen does not want Obi-Wan nowhere near Luke, but he knows he knows Obi-Wan's supposed to protect him, but he's not having that crap. So when the Inquisitors come back into town, pretty much the same thing happened just like last time. So it's very slowly paced, a bit repetitive at times. It's kind of like we already seen this scene, but now it's a little bit different because Obi-Wan is there. So what is Obi-Wan going to do? Is he going to let these people die, or is he going to fight them? Like, what is he going to do? So the third sister, she is like interrogating Owen and everything, and she's not having it. And of course, the fifth brother is not pleased with this and everything. And so, wait, is it him or was it the grand dude? I can't remember. Anyway, they are interrogating this and that, and he tells them something that they want to hear so they can go away. Because they're looking for, of course, a Jedi. And so Obi-Wan is thankful that Owen did not rat him out, but like he tells him he didn't do it for him and everything. Well, at some point, Obi-Wan does find Kari and everything, and he is hung. And so now that Leia has been kidnapped, Bail has contacted Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan's all like, I have to protect Luke. I can't leave this planet and blah, 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 blah. But then Bail, he goes there in person and pleads with him and everything and tells him, stop your lying. It's not that you can't leave this planet, I have to protect Luke, and there's all this guilt you're feeling, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And so that really, strikes the chord with Obi-Wan to where he does the right thing. He goes into the desert, like he told that one dude, and he retrieves his lightsaber. And of course, Anakin's is there too. And so now he is on a journey to find Princess Leia. And one part that I found was weird about this is that, okay, when the lady on the shuttle bus told him, are you coming? When he goes to the checkpoint to sign in or whatever, to the audience, he pulls back his cloak and reveals his lightsaber. We already knew he had it and he was going to take it with him. He ain't going to be that stupid and take that thing with him. And then he pulls back his cloak and he goes on the shell thing. How did people not see that? It was so obvious and everything. Like, it wasn't even like a glance. It was just like a long pause and everything. Not only that, but now he's traveling around in his Jedi outfit. People are gonna recognize that outfit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Jedi is supposed to like stay hidden, why are you dressing like one? And dressing like one of the most famous ones of them is and stuff. So yeah. So I thought this was a pretty good episode. It wasn't great by no means, but it was, like I said, it was better than Boba Fett. And now I'm gonna get to the point that really upset and pissed me off. That I've been reading online. And it's like these trolls are at it again. Y'all are not satisfied until y'all can find something to hate on, but y'all hate on the wrong subject matter. See, when I was on Twitter, this name kept popping up. Moses Ingram. And I'm just like, I don't know who that is. I don't care to know who that is. A lot of stuff trend on Twitter that's just like stupid. And so I'm not even gonna bother to see what it is. But then all day that kept popping up. And I'm like, I still don't care. So I did that thing where you click it to where it won't show up again. Then all of a sudden on my feeds, I saw something from Star Trek Strange New Worlds, or actually Star Trek, I should say. They retweeted something with Anson Mount, who plays Christopher Pike in Strange New Worlds. And it's where he's defending this actress from racist trolls and everything. I'm just like, wait a minute, that's that same name I didn't really want to bother about. I'm like, oh God, let me find out what this is about. So I Googled it and everything, and wouldn't you guess it? Wouldn't you guess it? Those same type of like spineless scumbags are attacking this woman. Now, here's the thing. When I watched this episode, I wanted to see what people was. See, I read this before I watched the episode. So I'm like, okay, what are people talking about? People are talking about like, oh, they don't like her acting, so they're just attacking her like in a cruel, vicious, racist kind of way. So when I watched the episode, I'm like, okay, yeah, I see what they're getting at. Her acting isn't very good. It's not where it needs to be, but improvement can happen. One reason why her acting isn't that great is because she is very new to acting and stuff. But here's the thing, these trolls are going leaps and bounds beyond that of her acting and now starting to treat her like some of the former Star Wars people that they don't like. They're now attacking her based on her race, calling her racial slurs and everything. And my thing is, what in the world happened to the Star Wars fandom? Geek fandom has become toxic. It has become vile. It has become just one of the most nastiest things out there. Y'all are sometimes more hateful and nasty than that of actual real hardcore racist groups and everything. And I mean, well, at least in the modern days, so not back in the old days, but in the modern days and stuff. Because for them, you really don't hear from them and stuff. But we hear from y'all all the time. And you can critique her acting. That is fine. You cannot like it, whatever. But to attack her based on her race, that's just low down. It's the same thing that happened to Sonequa Martin Green. People don't like Michael Burnham. I don't like Michael Burnham. But now people are attacking her because of her race. And, I don't understand Star Trek fans, DC Marvel fans, and Star Wars fans. It's like the moment you don't like something, you hate in a vicious kind of way. And it makes y'all look like bigots and everything. Because that's really what you are. You're secretly bigots. Oh, but no, we like Lando and everything. We like Geordie LaForge and Tuvok and everything. Okay, first of all those three characters I just named, they existed before the fandom became toxic. So, because back in the day, Star Wars fans weren't that toxic. Even if you didn't like a certain person, you wasn't that toxic. Because let's give a little nice example. The Lucas, or actually George Lucas himself. George Lucas made the biggest mistake of his life when he constantly kept changing the original Star Wars stuff. He kept adding in new footage. He changed the dialogue. He changed the color palettes. He swapped in actors' voices for the new ones and everything so they can line up better. Because he wanted his brainchild to be perfect in his eyes, but he ended up ruining it for all the fans. And the fans let him know. How did they let him know? Screaming at him, cussing at him, saying nasty stuff about him. It's the same thing y'all are doing lately with Patrick Stewart. You don't like Star Trek Picard, so you're taking it out on Patrick Stewart, which is funny because y'all used to love that man back when he was in Next Generation. But now y'all are so hateful, you just don't care. And so with Lucas, it got so bad that he quit. Because that's what y'all do. Y'all bully people into quitting. He quit, he sold it, and then he sold it to Disney. And Disney has been hit or miss with the Star Wars stuff. They did great with The Mandalorian, but everything else has been kind of not so great. And why? Y'all allowed that to happen. All that bullying y'all did, that caused him to leave. That caused his structure, his formula, his everything not to be integrated into new Star Wars content. And so now people are just doing whatever they want. And so from there, y'all started to bully three characters of his prequel trilogy. One person doesn't really matter because it was a CGI creature, and the actor himself only got blacklisted from Hollywood only because of that character, but it's not because, but the fans hated that character. But then let's get into the two Anakin Skywalkers, the little kid one and the older one. Granted, their acting, not so great. It's just not. And what's so bad about that is that when it comes to the kid one, grown adults criticize this little boy. They bully him so bad online because not only was he getting bullied at school, but he was getting bullied online by grown adults he's never even met. So this caused him to quit acting, spiral out of control, and end up in jail. As for the older dude, y'all have bullied that dude so bad to where more and more his movies started flopping. He started to realize something, and he pretty much just like, I think I don't know if he left Hollywood or he left the Star Wars franchise for a long time. Like for a long time, he wasn't doing nothing. And then all of a sudden they brought him back, and now y'all are cheering him on because he's back. But y'all are the same people who caused him to leave and everything. Then we get into the new trilogy. And y'all bullied the crap out of these three stars. You all threatened one to where she just got off Instagram. She hated herself because of y'all. Y'all got so furious when you saw that stormtrooper helmet come off and it was a black man underneath. Y'all lost y'all cool. Y'all lost y'all you know what. And y'all lost it only because he's black. No other reason. It was the trailer. It wasn't even the movie. It was the trailer you saw, and y'all freaked out, all because of somebody's race. And because of that, y'all hated him all because of his race. As for the Teague Rosa, whatever her name is, the Asian lady, y'all bullied her because of her acting ability, to where she just quit like social media. Then we get into I don't even know these people's names. I still haven't even seen these movies. Crap. The new girl and everything. Y'all hated y'all hated her for a dumb reason. The writers wrote her character badly. So, as a result, nobody really liked her character because they didn't know what they was going to do with her. Even she says the writers she didn't even know what was going to happen to her in each movie because they kept changing stuff. But then y'all bullied her based on her appearance, her looks, her face, talking about, ew, she's ugly and everything. That hurt that girl's feelings to the point where she just wanted to quit everything, Hollywood, social media, you name it. And I think she did quit social media and everything. And y'all, see, the moment you didn't like somebody's acting, you started basing everything on their appearance. And then y'all started bullying people. Have y'all seen yourselves in the mirror? Because I've seen y'all YouTube pages and stuff. You're not a supermodel, alright? So I don't know why y'all calling people ugly and stuff. And so it's like y'all hate for the sake of hating because nobody loves you, to be quite honest. Nobody. And that's why y'all hate. See, I don't get it. Geeks and nerds are like the misunderstood people of the world. We got bullied for lots of many different reasons. Now all of a sudden, y'all hatred has come out. And we all know it ain't just regular nerds. It's a certain group, a certain race of these like fandom people. They're all over YouTube. These trolls are constantly bashing everything from people of color, people of the LGBT community, people, strong women characters. The moment y'all see it, the moment it's not a straight white cis man, y'all get angry. And if y'all really want to bash somebody for bad acting, have y'all not forgotten about the original trilogy? The main trio, their acting was not great. It wasn't, but you loved them anyway because back then the fandom wasn't as disgusting as it is now. But of course, over the years and decades that have passed, those three original stars, their acting has improved leaps and bounds. So this woman's acting will improve, and all these other people's acting that y'all don't like will improve as long as they keep practicing their craft. But the fact is, y'all ruin your own product. There is a reason why Disney keeps doing what they are doing. See, Boba Fett did not die of wokeness like this one YouTuber said. It died because it just sucks, because the writing sucks and everything. And it didn't suck because, oh, now there are Asian characters in Star Wars. Oh no, we have Asian characters in Star Wars. Now y'all aren't happy. Get over yourselves. Seriously. You're not the only race that exists in the world. And you know I'm talking about white people. Because that's the people who are hating strongly on all this stuff. It's just like y'all doing everything else. Like, what the world has happened to y'all? Seriously, what has happened to y'all? Y'all didn't used to be this bad like a decade and a half ago and everything. And it's so sad because now when y'all hate on, is it Rose Tia? I don't know her name. Anyway, the Asian girl from like the new trilogy. You start calling her slurs. You start calling that Boyega dude racial slurs. You're calling this new lady racial slurs. But when you hated on the Anakin stars, I didn't see nobody call them any white slurs. Did you? Because I know I didn't. Because back then it wasn't as bad as it is now. Now when y'all hate, you're like, ooh, we can't be racist. Because, you know, Zack Snyder was right about you people. Y'all are bigots. Y'all are white supremacists and everything. Plain and simple as that. Y'all have become the new face of that in a new type of form. And it's hidden because it's hidden on YouTube. And you think people aren't going to find out in the real world. But they're slowly starting to find out. Because people like that Anson Mount dude is exposing y'all for who y'all are. The stars are exposing y'all for who y'all are. And, you know, it really just like terrible. And it tells the type of person you are. A unloved scumbag of a soul. And you prove how scummy you are because take Gina Carano, for example, from The Mandalorian. Now, the people who piss all over these other characters, like the woman who's getting hate now for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, y'all praise Gina to death. And then y'all complain because y'all like, well, she was treated unfairly and she was fired from her job and y'all tried to censor her and y'all wouldn't let her speak. The woman is about as toxic as y'all are. She is hateful. She is prejudiced. She is a bigot. She is transphobic. She has a little bit of racism in her. And not to mention, she compared being a Republican to that of the Holocaust. How can y'all praise this woman? But see, here's the funny thing. You didn't always praise her. See, back in season 1 and a little bit of season 2 of The Mandalorian, y'all criticized her. Y'all made fun of her because of her weight. She gained about 50 or 60 pounds of fat, not muscle, and y'all just like attacked her online. Then y'all found out how toxic she is, just like y'all, and then all of a sudden y'all flipped. Y'all like, oh, she's the greatest thing that's ever happened to Star Wars and everything. And then y'all started like praising and thinking she's a hero for free speech and everything. You people are bigots. You people are scum. Y'all are spineless. You don't even know what you're cheering for. And half the time, you don't even know what you're ranting for. That's how bad y'all are. Y'all literally just jump on the proverbial bandwagon. You suck. That's all that is. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.